everyone, Fox here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who left a comment to my very first video. I really do appreciate you welcoming to the booktube community. It was very sweet of you, and I really hope that you'll keep watching my videos. So today I will be doing a book haul video. So the first book that I've got here is Cashel's Dart. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pronounce it like that, or Cashel's Dart by Jacqueline Carey. I heard very good things about the series and I always wanted to read them, but I just never got around to it. So another one is Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. It's book number 3 in Grisha trilogy. I haven't read books 1 and 2 yet, but I want to try, so I just decided to get myself a book 3. Another book is London Falling by Paul Cornell. It was just one of the books that appeared among my recommendations on Goodreads, so I decided to go with it. I think it's a paranormal detective type of story. I know that there are more books in the series, but this is book number 1. Another thing which I forgot to mention about this book is that, and this is the reason why it popped up in my recommendations on Goodreads, is that it supposedly has a gay character in it. I'm not sure, haven't read it yet, but I don't know, the description seems quite on par with what I would read. I also got A Robe of Thorns by Gemma Files. I've got book 1 on the sale in December, and then I saw this one on sale and decided to purchase it as well. It's supposed to be a Western type of story, but I know for a fact that it has LGBTQ plus themes to it, so this is why I purchased it. Then I got Lord John and the Hand of Devils by Diana Gabaldon. I believe this is a collection of novellas or short stories set in the same world. So it was really cheap, so I decided just to pick up the copy since I want to start reading her series. And once again, this is the series that I picked up because I know that there are queer themes to it. You can see the trend here, right? So. Another book that I picked up is The Rose and the Thorn by Michael Sullivan, and this is volume 2 of the Ryria Chronicles. I cannot read things. This is what you should know about me. I cannot read things. Okay, so I blame this purchase on Samantha from Novels and Nonsense because she's been recommending Michael Sullivan for such a long time that I just had to pick up one of his books, and I actually picked up volume number 1, but from a different trilogy, and then I got this one, and I think I have book 1 from this trilogy in another box, so it's a complete mess. I'm sorry, but this is how I purchase books. I just see it and I purchase it. So, but I heard very good things about it, so this is fantasy novel, and it has very high rating on Goodreads, which is always a very good clue. Hopefully it will not disappoint. Oh, here we go. So here's Theft of Swords. This is volume 1, like I said, by Michael Sullivan. Oh my god, I didn't realize it's so thick. Oh goodness. But it was for such a good price. It was just $5.99. I just had to get it. I don't care. Like, this is a haul, huge book for such a price. I'm so happy I got it. Then I got Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. So I'm currently reading book number 1, Red Queen. I had Red Queen for about a year before I started reading it. I just never had time for it, and I read about 100 pages. Really liked it. I'm still reading it, so I cannot really tell you my opinion yet, but what I have read so far was pretty good, so I decided to pick up this book, especially as it was on sale, just $15 for a hardback. I think it's a very good deal. And another book that I've got from Indigo, and I got it just based on the fact that it was really cheap, and I had to make a minimum purchase of $25 to get my delivery for free. So this is the book called The Road Between Us by Nigel Farndale. I know literally nothing about this book except for the fact that there are two love stories. One of them is supposedly a forbidden love story. Um, One is set during the World War One, I believe, and the second one is somewhere in the contemporary times. Not sure, but it's I kind of like the cover as well. It really attracted my attention, and it's pretty thick book, hardback, and only $6.99. I'm sorry, I just had to get it. And once again, supposedly, whatever the forbidden love part in this book is, has something to do with LGBTQ theme as well. And as you can tell, I just buy books that are have queer themes. I just do that because let's admit it, buying books is not exactly a cheap hobby. So I try going to local bookstores, especially bargain bookstores, and just browse through them. This is where I find very good fantasy novels released back in 90s or even 80s. So this is a very good place. So I have a couple of books that I purchased from there. The first one being Have Mercy by Jada Jones and Danielle Bennett. I've had this book on my wish list at Amazon for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. I've never got a chance to buy it. I think it's still available on Kindle, but I'm not sure it's available on Amazon in paperback. I'm not very fond of the size, but I'm really glad that I got it from a local bookstore. It was only $4.99 compared to original $9.99 price. So this is a high fantasy novel, and it has something to do with dragons, and it also has queer things. So yes, my thing, definitely. Another book that I got from a local store was Graceling by Christine Cashore. It's a YA fantasy novel, which is I think it's quite popular in BookTube. I saw a lot of people recommend it, and I was wondering, when I read the description, it just seems like something that I might like. So I decided to pick it up. It was only $4.99, and it's in the perfect condition. So I'm looking forward to reading it. Then I went to another bookstore with a friend, and I got myself the book. It's called The Crimson Goddess by Catherine Cook. It is the book number 3 in the Winged Assassin trilogy. It's a high fantasy novel. To be completely honest, I haven't read the first 2 books, but I've had it on my wish list for God knows how long. And as you can tell, I don't know if you can tell from here, but it's a very old book. It's a very old edition. I got it for $3.50, and I think it was printed in 1989. So yeah, it's a very old book, and it was never reprinted. It's not available on Kindle, so I'm really happy that I got it, just at least for the sake of having the whole trilogy on my shelves. And once again, you can guess, right? I bet you can. Another book that I got from a bargain store is also to make one of my series complete is a book by Catherine Kurtz. She is one of my ultimate favorite fantasy writers. She writes adult fantasy, and she started back in the 80s, I believe. And she produced quite a few trilogies, all set in the same world. And I absolutely loved it. This was, her books were the first books, fantasy books, that I've ever read in my life. And I think I'm not sure how old I was. Maybe I was a teenager. I know that I was a teenager, but I'm not sure. Maybe I was 12 or 13. So I got this book. I have almost all of her books, except for the ones that are out of print, unfortunately. And this is one of those. This is, I'm not sure if I'm going to read it correctly. Camber of Chaldee. It's the book. Ooh. I think it's book number 1 in the trilogy. I admit I'm very bad with remembering which which books are which in what trilogy, but this is I think it's the very first edition of it. Yeah, it was printed in 1976. This book is older than me, guys. So I'm really excited to have it. I think that the books 2 and 3 in this trilogy do not match this edition, but it's fine. I'm just happy that I have it. And even though it's really yellow and it's kind of dusty, all the pages are intact and they're not faded or anything. So I will definitely be reading this at some point. Okay, I completely forgot that I bought more books. So here are a couple of books that I got from the Indigo bookstore. One of them is Half Wild by Sally Green. This is young adult fantasy novel, book number 2 in this series. I have book number 1 and I plan to read it in the next week or two. So I decided to pick up the book number 2. It was released last year, but it finally came out as a paperback in February. That's why I picked it up, because book number 1 that I have is also a paperback. Book number 3, the final book in the trilogy, is coming out in late March, so hopefully I will read books number 1 and 2 by then. Then I got myself these lovely editions of Shakespeare plays. So number 1 is 12th Night, which is my absolutely number 1 favorite comedy play by William Shakespeare. I have a lot to say about this play, because there is one production that I absolutely love and I want to talk about, but I will do it in some other video. Then I got myself Coriolanus, which is an amazing drama by William Shakespeare. I watched National Theatre production with Tom Hiddleston in it. I watched it 2 or 3 times and I really loved it, so I decided to pick up this play as well. And the last one, but not the least one, is a comedy by Shakespeare, As You Like It. I watched National Theatre broadcast about a week ago of the same play and I really liked it, so I plan to do a review and I will talk about this play as well. So here are 3 plays that I've got. There are very good editions by, what is this? By Modern Library. I think it's Modern Library edition, yeah. I really like it because you might be wondering why they're so thick. It's just because there are a lot of comments and basics about the performance for this place as well. So I will definitely be enjoying reading those. Okay, and I actually have one more thing that I got. I got this from Book Depository, I think 2 days ago. I know it's technically March, but I placed an order back in February, and I know that I ordered 2 books. And what I've got here, look at this. Do you think there is a book inside? I'm really confused. Honestly, I'm just like, I didn't expect this. It's so thin. Let me open and find it out. So, let's see. I hope it's a book. Yeah, it's a book. Look at that. Okay, so, oh yeah, I forgot about it. So I got myself a copy of The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, which is a fantastic play that I watched quite recently. I think it was December. Yeah, there was a broadcast of it and I watched it and I absolutely loved it. And since I don't have any Oscar Wilde here with me, I decided to purchase this play. I just didn't expect it to be so thin, so it explains the very thin envelope. So look at that, it's pretty cool. And I also got here 2 bookmarks. Oh my gosh, look at those. On top of the world with our new Australian books. Oh, this is so cute. And this one, oh. This bookmark is part of a set designed by our customers. Look at this, it's kind of creepy, but I like it. So I got 2 bookmarks. I didn't expect that, so that's pretty cool. Well, this is it, guys. This is my first book haul in which I talk about books. I'm sorry if it was a bit rushed. I know I should have probably spent a bit more time to go into details about books, but to be honest, I don't know what to say about the books that I haven't read yet. So hopefully, you enjoyed it nevertheless. Let me know down below if you have read any of those books and what you thought about them. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you soon. Bye!